Time for Hotspot Metals, the spot for precious metals news, views, education, and research.
Hello, everybody. This is Chris with Hotspot Metals in Chicago with your weekly gold and silver price report. Pretty exciting week this week. Lots happened, but first I will run through just the price changes and comparisons. For the week ending 5/3, gold closed at $1278.90, silver closed at $1490. Gold lost $6.90 this week for a change of 0.5% and almost 1% on that 4-week rolling change. Silver closed down 15 cents for a full percentage, and again about 1% on a rolling 4-week basis. There's not much change in the best and worst prices for American Silver Eagles. SD Bullion still has the best price at $17.87 on current year Silver Eagles, and Bold Precious Metals retained the best price on random year Silver Eagles at $17.52. For 1 ounce Maple Leafs, Bold Precious Metals takes the top spot for both current year and random year. For 1 ounce Gold Buffaloes, SD Bullion retains best for both current year and for random year Gold Buffaloes. 1 ounce Gold American Eagles, same thing. SD Bullion is the best gold seller with $1338.82 on the current year Gold Eagles and $1322.16 on the randoms. Another thing I added that's a little bit different this week, I have started to purchase 10-ounce RCM silver bars, and I thought it would be nice to discuss this just a little bit today and also include these best prices. SD Bullion has the best price on bars, and I'm talking about 1 through 9 bars. I made 3 purchases over the last week at varying price levels, averaging down. Pretty proud of myself today, but we don't know what's going to happen next week. But anyway, SD Bullion has the best price on these RCM 10-ounce silver bars. And I'll explain my interest in the silver bars in a little bit after we take a peek at the charts. For silver, silver is riding right along its 200-day moving average. In fact, it was in pretty bad danger of falling so far below that I really thought we were going to be looking at low $14 range, but we kind of end with a cliffhanger here this week with silver right at the 200-day moving average. The orange line is the 100-day moving average. That would be at about, I would say, 1545 or so. It would be great to get above the 100-day moving average over the next week or two. Right now, I'd be happy if we could just get above the 200-day moving average, and we are just kissing that line right now. For gold, gold rides still right in between the 100-day orange line moving average and the blue 200-day moving average. It's actually closer to the 100-day than it is the 200-day, and that's a great sign. We had a lot of crazy stuff go on this week. Both gold and silver pretty much followed the same patterns. We'll look at the 15-minute chart and just take a little trip in the time machine back here to Wednesday, where the FOMC meeting came out. Jay Powell, let's back up. The number comes out right here, where you see a big spike in gold, and same thing in silver. The pattern is the same, so we'll just look at the gold chart. I'm here, by the way, at hotspotmetals.com, live charts, where both charts, gold and silver, are stacked up. And you can kind of add these add indicators and zoom in and out as you wish. We're looking at that 15. So the numbers come out. Gold and silver both spike because the numbers, or the FOMC decision is not to change interest rates at all. Well, the market takes this as very dovish. It means that we've got already super low interest rates, and it sounds like we're going to keep them there. And that must be because we don't see any need to tighten anymore. So the market takes it that way and shoots up. But then Jay Powell, the chairman of the Fed, starts to talk, and he starts to talk more like, well, this is just for now. This could always change. We could see a whole lot more inflation, and we could start tightening again. Well, the market didn't like that at all. In fact, it disliked it 2 times worse than it liked it. So we took a huge down spike and hit. Gold and silver both languished and went down into some misery zones, way down close to some very important key resistance levels. And, it was just not a happy sight. Lots of fear out there. And then what happened today? This morning, the other Fed chairman, the Dallas Fed, and I don't know, these guys are spread around, different bank talking heads talk, but the ones that spoke today are the more dovish guys, and they have a vote, and they were talking about a little bit more chance of quantitative easing coming up, which I think was going to happen anyway. I think Jay Powell back here where he's oops, sorry about that. A little jump in the chart there. I think back here where he's saying, well, don't get too excited. We may tighten later. I think he's just trying to cover both bases. The more dovish Fed chairmen that are always up for more quantitative easing, more money printing, that kind of thing, these guys spoke, and the precious metals market just loved it. So we saw like a almost 35% rise at a certain point, but well over 2% rise in the price of silver all in one day. Nice little golf flag up here. And it kind of eased down toward the end of the day, but still settled very nicely. Again, right here, we are just kissing that 200-day moving average. So here we zoom out to the daily, and let's see here. That's gold, which is in between. Yeah, see, here's silver. Here's that 200-day moving average, and we're just like, we may have like a pinky just above it, just hanging on. And there's the 100-day moving average up there. The good thing, though, is that if I look at the relative strength index, which I look at along with the moving averages, the relative strength index is right in this Goldilocks zone, right at 45 or 50. And momentum happens to be rising, and rising sharply right here. So we are in a good spot there. We're not oversold. We're not overbought. Right in the center. I think this sets us up for a great week next week, possibly. But of course, I can be wrong. This market does not seem to follow normal free market price discovery. We will just have to see. It does follow the dollar index. As the dollar falls and rises, I didn't prepare a chart to bring up on the dollar, but the dollar took a big nosedive today. Well, not a nosedive, but relatively speaking, the dollar fell pretty hard, partially because the British pound was up. But you can see here across the board, I think is neutral against the pound right now and the Aussie dollar. But the major currencies here, the US dollar was down against, and of course that always drives precious metals up. Sometimes precious metals will have a mind of their own and actually go up when the dollar index is going up. But I think right now precious metals are extremely dollar index sensitive. And even though the dollar is the dirtiest shirt in the dirty laundry, or the cleanest shirt in the dirty laundry, all currencies are losing value. But we're a friend of mine calls it the prettiest pig in the pen or whatever. So relatively speaking, the dollar is where people want to be. And so flows of currency from Forex traders and people like that always go to the strongest currency they can. So that is that. And I want to go back to why I was chatting about 10-ounce RCM bars here. One of the things I do, and I'll be doing this again, if you look at the one of my coin show road trips, I always go out to this show out in Palatine, Illinois. And then I went to another one out in Countryside, Illinois, and another one in Itasca. One thing I have been noticing is the brisk sales of these 10-ounce bars. And up till now, I have been, as far as my bullion accumulation, I've been sticking with American Silver Eagles. If I lived in Canada, I would be buying Maple Leafs. I believe in buying the domestic sovereign currency as the most recognizable form of coin. I have a few monster boxes in my vault of ASEs. I have some Maple Leafs, but the foundation of my stacking is in the Silver Eagles. They're nice and divisible, small denominations of 1 ounce each. But one of the things about these, and this isn't going to be news to anybody. Hold on a minute while I shuffle around the deck here. One of the things is, obviously, this one is not full. I wouldn't be tossing it around like this if it was. But this is your standard ASE monster box. It's kind of big. And what I do, I buy these empties fairly cheap. I think they're $20 at, I forget where, SD or APMEX, one of the two sells me these. But, and this isn't a reason to buy 10-ounce bars, but one thing I noticed, and I bought myself a few of these, which are great storage boxes, even for your coins, if you want. They're good, heavy duty. You can strapping tape them shut, this kind of thing. But this is 500 ounces of ASEs. This is 500 ounces, or would hold 500 ounces of the 10-ounce bars. And look at the size difference here. Let me see if I can hold this up here. That is a big difference. And as a lot of silver stackers know, space becomes an issue when you start to accumulate a lot of silver. So anyway, I just thought that was one interesting additional tidbit there. The storage space, much more compact, a lot less packing material than you would get in a whole bunch of tubes like this. And the other thing is, just to let other new people like me, I can still consider myself a new stacker / collector here, is that you can buy these empty, very sturdy, nice boxes, and they are stackable. They're designed to be stackable, and they stay solid. You can stack them up, and if you do have an off-site vault like I do with Brinks, these things don't take up as much space. You need a smaller space. You get charged less, or I should say you probably get charged the same, but you get more storage in the same space. So fits in your private vault, fits at home. What I do is I'll buy these and I'll start a new one, and I'll start filling this in, and when it's time, then when it's full, I'll take my heavy duty strapping tape, I'll label it, strap it shut, and take it to the private vault service. Anyway, that is the case for 10-ounce bars. I am sorry that was not on screen the whole time. I will be updating this now. Provident and Bold don't carry the 10-ounce RCM bar, at least not this week. I don't know if they're going to change their plan on that or not. I kind of thought, especially with the great prices that Bold has on both the current year and random year. Look at the random year price on their maples, 1682. Now, that's the other point, is the premiums on these 10-ounce bars. This isn't an RCM bar. My purchases from last week are not here yet, but this is a 10-ounce bar. The premiums on these are much lower than the ASEs, and one could argue, well, you're not going to get as much when you sell them, and that might be true, but your risk exposure is, I would say, a dollar an ounce less on these. I managed to average in by buying low this week on these painful low dips. I mean, this took a lot of guts. The premiums are lower on these, and that means that your exposure over spot is lower. And the thing is that you can always sell your silver for spot. Anybody will take your silver at spot, because you have to remember, for them to buy it for any less than spot is almost impossible, because, shipping, and nobody else, none of the major vendors are going to sell them that. So if you went to a coin show or to a local coin shop or made some sort of private arrangement sale, you would always get at least spot. You shouldn't sell if somebody offers you less than spot. The RCM bars have a couple of other great features to them. They're stamped by a mint, and this is where you separate out bars from just certain bars from others. Or I should say, this is why I chose the RCM bar. And this is from advice I got from several other YouTubers and several other sites that I visited. The Royal Canadian Mint Bar, it has several features on it that make it more secure, more trustable. One is that it has a clear mint mark on it. It also has a serial number on it. And then it has some other fine detail that provides security features for it. So if you're just buying a raw poured or simply stamped, even an APMEX or SD bullion bar can be much more easily counterfeited and much less trusted in a situation where you just want people to see the bars, feel like they're real, want to trust them, and buy them from you. And so I feel like the security and the recognizability, and the Royal Canadian Mint is a private company, but they are chartered by the Canadian government to provide all the currency for Canada, as well as make money on the nice coins and bars they produce. But it is government backing in a certain respect, and laws protect you. Anytime you have something like an ASE or a Maple Leaf, the penalties are huge for counterfeiting those. And for counterfeiting a Royal Canadian Mint bar, there would be a lot of penalties for that too. I just feel like it wouldn't be as feasible for you to run across a counterfeited government-backed bar like the Royal Canadian Mint bar as it would be something that was poured, or even there's other good bars out there like Engelhard's and things like that are serial numbered. Your plain old APMEX and SD bullion bar. This is an SD bullion bar. There is no serial number on here. I don't consider anything on here to be any kind of a security feature. So this is why I'm buying bars, low premium. I ended up with 3 different purchases this week as the precious metals market kind of fell out of bed. My 3 different purchases, I went and I cost averaged them, and I ended up getting silver for $16.28 an ounce spot $16.28 per ounce. So if I had bought ASEs, it would have been 17. Let's see. even at their lowest. I forget, these are the current prices here, but I would have paid, I think it was the lowest I could have gotten might have been around $17.30. So $1 savings on the premium just by going with the 10-ounce bars. And I would not have done that before, but I'm learning. And what I learned by going to these coin shows is that, you know, suburban dads, other precious metal stackers, anybody, they come to these shows and this is what they're buying. I saw them buying 4, 5, 6 at a time from different vendors. Just show me your bars, and they were bringing out the cash. So anyway, I'm going to do some bars for a while. I have I have a monster box or two filled with ASEs, and now I'm going to switch over to the bars and start working on filling up one of these. So I am going to stop rambling about bars and that kind of thing. I'll continue to add the bar price into the analysis every week. Don't forget to go to hotspotmetals.com, go to the price comparison menu item, and right there is this week's price comparison report that you can download in PDF format. And if this podcast or vlog or YouTube show, whatever you want to call it, provides you with any kind of value, or you enjoy going to Hotspot Metals live charts and seeing what gold and silver are doing in real time, where you can see both charts together in a nice format, go down and check out the dollar action, see the economic report calendar, who's going to say what that's going to move the market today. If you enjoy any of this and it has any value to you, I'm not asking for 1 penny. Just please go and click the like and subscribe and the little bell thing there so that you don't miss future shows. And the more of that subscribing we get, the better we do on YouTube. And we want to get the word out and have more fun. Thanks a lot. This is Chris with Hotspot Metals in Chicago, now signing off.